The Police Officers Association is putting a spotlight on the city's Department of Violence Prevention and the Mobile Assistance Community Responders of Oakland, which is known as MACRO. Both were established to try to reimagine public safety using non-police response models. Ground Force Haaziq Madyun has the story.
The premise was to reduce funding to the police department to the tune of $18 million and transition it over to these non-police responses. A laudable goal, but unfortunately the money seems to have moved over, but none of the calls have.
The president of the union that represents Oakland police officers, Officer Barry Donnellan, is questioning the number of nonviolent calls for service that got a response from MACRO, the city's mobile assistance community responders of Oakland. Donnellan says in the month of August, OPD's 911 dispatch received 60,000 calls for service. So of the 60,000 calls for service, you're saying MACRO?
They took 19. They responded to 19 calls for service. There's more than 20 in a month when you're taking 2,000 calls for service a day. And these are residents who need help. They need a police officer, and we're just struggling. We're struggling to make it to them. And we appreciate the help, but we're not seeing it. We're not seeing it from these programs that the city's invested in. And we're just asking, where are they?
And for those who don't think we're doing anything, I want them to come spend a day in a life in between the gun. That's where we live.
The Department of Violence Prevention is Oakland's other non-police response service. Unlike MACRO, DVP deploys violence interrupters like Control Killings directly to crime scenes with a focus on preventing retaliation killings. He says DVP has been very busy responding to each of the 8 homicides over the past week.
Every last one of them. And I want to say that there would be a lot more shootings and a lot more homicides if there was not folks on the ground working. And so, for example, last Monday, there was the incident on 31st and Telegraph. That was the double. Like 45 minutes after that incident, they had to go to East Oakland to 20th Ave to the other female, you know what I mean? And so like even this weekend, there was multiple incidents where they're going from one incident to the next.
It is important to reiterate that the Department of Violence Prevention and MACRO are 2 separate non-police response programs. In Oakland, Haaziq Madyun, Ground 4 News.